BTS allure has successfully prompted many top global artists to line up for collaborations. But did you know there are big names who openly hinted at or even nearly recorded a collaboration, only for it to be cancelled in the end? Here is a list of 5 famous artists who begged for a BTS collab and got rejected.
Number 5. Maluma. Top Latin pop singer from Colombia named Maluma once openly stated his desire to work together on a song with BTS. This incident began when the musician was asked by a reporter in a television interview about the possibility of creating a masterpiece with this phenomenal group from South Korea. Without any hesitation, Maluma immediately responded enthusiastically that he would be very willing if given the opportunity. This phenomenon of interest shows the massive influence of BTS in the global music industry today, so much so that musicians from the reggaeton genre, who already have their own giant market, feel interested in expanding their audience with them. The Spanish-language music market in Latin America and Europe is incredibly huge, and if combined with the ranks of loyal ARMY listeners from all over the world, the results of their work in terms of business numbers could instantly top the music charts in various countries. However, in the professional entertainment industry, verbal offer from one party does not automatically make a song get produced in the recording studio the very next day. Until now, the verbal offer from Maluma has only stopped as entertainment news in various mass media without any further confirmation from BTS's agency, namely Big Hit Music in Seoul. This situation of lack of response happens very often because the music production team of a label usually has arranged a very specific work plan for each album release for the next few years. So even if there is a big artist of Maluma's caliber offering himself freely, the agency will not put it into the schedule if the type of music is felt to be incompatible with the theme of the album they are currently working on at that time. As light info for you guys about how international music labels work, the process of matching schedules between 2 world-class singer entities is very complicated and can take months just to settle royalty-sharing contract matters legally. Not to mention the matter of dividing time for the music video shooting process amidst BTS's world tour concert schedule, which is always packed every year. These technical administrative factors are often the biggest obstacles, so the cancellation or rejection at this early stage is based more on incompatible work schedules and creative directions. Although many listeners from both sides have made requests on social media to realize this collaboration project, in the end, the absolute decision remains in the hands of the production management team and the artists themselves. The absence of an official response from the label indicates that for now, merging Maluma's Latin-style music and the pop dynamics from BTS has not entered their top priority agenda. This case teaches us that behind a successful music track released to the public, there are hundreds of business considerations, voice identity matching, and closed-door negotiations that must be passed very carefully. Not all public interview offers lead to the signing of a cooperation contract on the executive table. The direction of the music industry can indeed change at any time, depending on the ongoing market trends, but the fantasy of seeing the 2 of them record the same song is still just a hope without a clear time limit. The strict selection process carried out by the management actually protects BTS members from creating potentially suboptimal works just for the sake of seeking quick financial gain. Every song launched by BTS must truly have a strong connection with the main message that the members want to convey to the fans. In conclusion, although Maluma has clearly stated his approval and his enthusiasm received wide coverage from various international media, the absence of an official agreement means this potentially highly lucrative offer never happened and remained a discourse. The division of vocal portions and determining the lyrics language become another technical hurdle, considering that unifying Spanish, Korean, and English within a 3-minute duration of a song requires a very meticulous tonal arrangement so that the message can still be conveyed well to the general listeners.
Number 4. Tinashe.
The story of this R&B singer named Tinashe is quite different because the initial interaction actually started from BTS's side, where J-Hope often mentioned her name as one of his role models and favorite musicians. J-Hope honestly stated in public on several occasions that Tinashe is the artist figure he wants to work with the most to produce a song. Hearing the praise from the BTS member, Tinashe, who comes from the United States, responded very positively multiple times. In several interview occasions with music media, Tinashe clearly said that she was very ready to work and was waiting for BTS's agency to send her a recording draft. Even though the musician had openly agreed and the armies on the internet fully supported their musical meeting, BTS's management apparently never responded to the open offer to further production stages. In the modern music industry, there is a fairly strict separation between an artist's personal taste and the marketing strategy of the company that houses them. Even though J-Hope really likes Tinashe's work personally, the decision to fund, record, and release a collaborative piece must still pass layers of approval from the feasibility assessment team within the record company. As casual insight about global musician career management, record label companies usually consider piles of data before approving cross-border collaboration projects. They will review listener demographic data, artist image alignment, projected physical album sales, and potential song plays on various digital streaming applications. If the data calculations show that a collaboration will not align with the direction of BTS's album campaign during that period, then the project will most likely not proceed to the music composition stage. The subtle rejection shown through silence or lack of follow-up from the agency is a very common practice done in the entertainment world to maintain good relations without having to issue an official rejection statement that risks offending the other party. Many people might wonder why a request that is already heavily supported by the fan community is not immediately executed just like that. But the fact is, the process of arranging a song requires more than just the support of thousands of comments on the internet. To make a song capable of balancing Tinashe's distinct vocal character with the rap style and vocals of the 7 BTS members, a producer must arrange specific musical instruments that might not be available in the company's song bank at that time. Besides that, during the time frame when this interaction was widely discussed, BTS was at a crucial phase in building their sound identity independently in the United States market. So the management was very selective in choosing duet partners so that BTS's original signature would not be overshadowed by another musician's style. The managerial attitude in deciding not to realize this interest also shows their discipline in complying with the release schedule agreed upon years in advance. Managerial decisions behind the scenes often go against the immediate hopes of the fans, but it is this carefulness that ensures BTS's discography maintains a consistent quality standard. To this day, there are still many listeners who regret the decision because the blend of Tinashe's voice with J-Hope is believed to be able to produce a highly iconic song. This series of events provides a real picture that at the professional level, mutual admiration between artists is not enough to open the recording studio doors. Everything must be returned to business calculations, highly specific schedule availability, and the grand artistic design of both musicians. Although this dream project ultimately ran aground and did not materialize, the public interaction between J-Hope and Tinashe is still well remembered by the fan community as a form of mutually respectful art appreciation. The negotiation or communication process that does not lead to a song release is a normal operational occurrence, and the details may vary depending on the information source at the time, but the core of this situation is a lack of alignment in the production timeline.
Number 3. Zedd. World-famous electronic music producer and disc jockey named Zedd once caused a massive uproar in cyberspace at the end of 2017 regarding a potential collaboration with BTS. Through his Twitter social media account, Zedd proactively and openly offered to make a song together by tweeting a sentence that clearly stated his readiness to collaborate. The short tweet was immediately replied to by the official BTS account with great enthusiasm, where they signaled agreement to do the project. This public interaction that happened so quickly made many mass media and fans believe that a fast-paced electronic song created by Zedd and BTS would be released in the near future.
The public highly anticipated the combination of Zed's high-energy electronic arrangement with BTS's dynamic vocal performance. However, after years have passed since that viral moment, this highly anticipated project never materialized into a complete song. The failure of this discourse once again highlights an important reality in the commercial music industry, that verbal agreements on social media are merely greetings between fellow professionals and are definitely not binding cooperation contract guarantees. As casual information that you need to know regarding the production flow of the electronic genre, a producer like Zed usually produces the musical instruments completely first, before sending them to the target singers to be filled with vocal recordings. This merging process absolutely requires legal negotiations from both record labels regarding who will hold the main copyright and broadcast rights portions of the song. If the work is released as Zed's main work with BTS as the featured guest, then the revenue sharing scheme, promotional costs, and sales methods will be handled very differently compared to if the song is included in the track list of a BTS album. Business negotiation hurdles in the boardroom related to copyright percentages and royalties often become the main stumbling blocks that cause many top-tier musician projects to ultimately be cancelled at the planning stage. Aside from legal administrative issues, during that year period, BTS was also known to be working on several large-scale collaborations with other electronic figures, such as Steve Aoki and the Chainsmokers. BTS's management most likely rejected or indefinitely postponed the song with Zed so that there would be no piling up of song releases with overly similar vibes in a close time frame. Releasing too many electronic works consecutively could change the overall direction of BTS's musical identity, so they had to sort out collaboration offers very carefully to maintain the diversity of their discography. The silent cancellation of the cooperation without any official announcement left the public only able to speculate about what the actual obstacles were behind the scenes. This fact gives us a broad understanding that verbal agreements that look easy on the internet often stall when faced with the reality of preparing cross-border work contracts. There are so many crucial factors involved, starting from recording facilities rentals, regional marketing strategies, to matching launch dates so as not to harm the tour agenda of each respective party. Zed, who has a distribution operations center in America, certainly has his own work schedule, which might have clashed with the preparation of BTS's major album release in Korea at that time. Even though communication between the two musicians was reportedly very good and they admired each other's work, when discussions began to enter the commercial area handled by the representative teams of each party, agreements were often not reached. Until now, the traces of their interaction on Twitter only remain a part of light chat among music observers when listing the most desired collaborative projects that ended up getting cancelled in the digital era. The case of Zed and BTS reinforces the basic rule in the entertainment world that artistic agreement is only 1% of the entire global-scale song production process. The remaining 99% is the completion of strict administrative correspondence matters, and it seems both parties agreed not to force this project for the sake of the smooth running of their respective main activities.
Number 2. Shawn Mendes. Talented singer and songwriter from Canada, Shawn Mendes is one of the international public figures who most frequently and vocally discussed plans to produce a song with BTS. The long history of their interaction began when Shawn and all the members of BTS met directly in the backstage area of the prestigious American Music Awards at the end of 2017. The face-to-face meeting moment was caught on camera and spread widely, showing them greeting each other and chatting in a very friendly atmosphere. After the award night passed, Shawn Mendes consistently continued to mention in various television station interviews and radio programs that a song collaboration with BTS was definitely going to happen, and he really wanted the project to be realized immediately. Shawn even said to reporters with a high level of confidence that they had started planning something seriously behind the scenes. Public statements affirmed repeatedly by an artist with a fan base as large as Shawn Mendes certainly skyrocketed the expectations of armies and music lovers across the globe to the highest level. Everyone felt confident that a song release announcement was only a matter of time.
However, inversely proportional to the enthusiasm shown in front of the cameras, the collaboration promise uttered with such certainty slowly drowned, swallowed by time, without a single piece of audio material being published. The failure to complete this collaboration serves as a very clear example to analyze how the fierce pressure of an A-list musician's work schedule can abort the most desired cooperation plans by all parties. As very interesting casual insight regarding global artist work schedules, a singer who is at the peak of popularity has an agenda book that is already locked for various promotional activities up to years in advance. During the time period when this discourse emerged, Shawn Mendes was undergoing a world tour routine to promote his solo album, where he had to move concert locations across continents with a very tight flight schedule. On the other hand, BTS at the same time was busy conducting global expansion with massive stadium tours in dozens of countries, while having to constantly return to the studio in Seoul to prepare material for their follow-up albums. The constantly changing physical distance between countries and the absence of long free time made the process of working on song lyrics, finding basic tones, and recording vocals something that was almost impossible to complete with a high standard. In the operational standards of top music labels, there is an audio production quality that cannot be lowered just to meet a launch deadline. Even though current technology allows artists to send voice files to each other over the internet, professional musicians of their caliber often prioritize working together in the same studio room so they can build the right emotional direction and align vocal harmonies directly. Due to the lack of time to conduct those joint recording sessions, this discourse experienced multiple delays, until finally the relevance period of the idea faded in the eyes of both artist managements. Beyond the scheduling constraints, which were indeed very severe, there is a high probability that the discussion process stalled at the stage of composing the sound identity concept itself. Shawn Mendes is widely known for his acoustic pop music signature with dominant guitar instrument plucking, while BTS has a very broad musical range with a foundation in hip-hop genres, dense electronic sound production, and energetic stage choreography. Finding a middle ground in musical arrangement that could highlight Shawn's relaxed singing style while accommodating the vocal characters and rap distributions of all 7 BTS members was an extraordinarily complicated technical production challenge. The music material curation team from Big Hit in Korea is famous for applying incredibly strict song draft filtering standards. They do not hesitate to reject song drafts from world lyricists if the composition is felt unable to merge with the grand storyline of the album series BTS is currently working on. In this scenario, the words rejected or canceled do not at all refer to any personal conflict or dislike between individual artists, but rather to the logical fact that these two giant music entities were unable to balance their respective calendars of activities that shared the same non-stop status. Historical records in the entertainment industry show that record companies prefer to cancel high-value collaboration projects rather than force the launch of a low-quality work that has the potential to ruin their artist's track record in the eyes of international music critics. The promises thrown by Shawn Mendes during interviews were often influenced by a feeling of joy and honest enthusiasm after interacting with BTS, but at that time he might not have realized how complicated the bureaucratic administrative licensing stages and concept synchronization from 2 different continent companies were. The story of this unaired collaboration serves as a valuable lesson to the wider public that an expression of interest in front of entertainment journalists is not a valid song release contract document. Viewers must understand that uniting a solo artist and a group artist with the highest mobility in the world demands the existence of empty space on the exact same calendar, which is a very rare occurrence. In the end, the chatter about this duet song disappeared from circulation because each musician returned to focusing their energy on releasing their own main works, leaving this story as one of the biggest pop collaboration possibilities that failed to be united at the recording desk due to a packed busy schedule. Although highly regretted by various parties, the operational reality of global artist management indeed often separate an artist's wishes from everyday recording business realities.
Number 1. Yasushi Akimoto. Unlike the other numbered sequences on this list, where cancellations occurred silently due to time constraints and internal creative strategies, the case in this first spot is the most concrete cancellation incident announced publicly due to massive-scale, harsh rejection from the fans. This highly historic case involved a legendary music producer and giant entertainment entrepreneur from Japan named Yasushi Akimoto, who is the central figure founding the famous idol group with a mass member system, namely AKB48. In mid-September of 2018, the agency that houses BTS, namely Big Hit Entertainment, released an official announcement that heavily shocked various print and online media. The company informed that BTS was scheduled to release a new song specifically for the Japanese market, titled Bird. In the press release, it was stated plainly that the entire lyrics of the song were the direct written results of Yasushi Akimoto, who was apparently contacted specifically by Big Hit executives for reasons of friendship and professional admiration. From the perspective of conventional corporate business, the intention behind this operational cooperation was very clear and logical, which was as an aggressive strategy to further dominate the Japanese music market share, economically recorded as the second largest music market in the entire world. Partnering with a name as big as Yasushi Akimoto was seen as a shortcut to gain instant sympathy from local Japanese music listeners. However, the company executives at that time completely failed to predict the reaction of anger that immediately exploded within just a matter of hours after the news was broadcast to the public via the internet network. The ARMY fan base, centered in South Korea, instantly carried out independent consolidation and formed a protest action movement that was highly structured, massive, and directed. It should be noted that this extreme rejection was not at all based on doubts about Akimoto's ability to compose commercial tones or lyrics, but purely stemmed from the issue of historical sentiment backgrounds between countries and the social views of the producer himself. A large part of the general public in South Korea gave very sharp criticism against Yasushi Akimoto because the figure is widely known to have a track record of involvement in various publications believed to support Japanese right-wing political ideologies. Considering that historical memories related to the Japanese colonial period on the Korean peninsula are still an exceptionally sensitive national issue, the involvement of a public figure who is viewed to have such a past political orientation was considered deeply hurtful to the feelings of patriotism and self-esteem of the society in general. Besides taking issue with the state political aspects, which always heat up in that region, the fans proactively also dismantled and attached various pieces of evidence that the lyrics created by Yasushi Akimoto in the past for his girl groups often contained wording that discredited or degraded the dignity of women. For the armies, letting BTS, who always campaigns for positive messages, anti-violence campaigns alongside UN organizations, and self-love values, singing a song by a problematic writer was a form of instant reputation destruction. This wave of online protests did not just stop at writing comments of disappointment, but grew exponentially into the formation of official online petitions that managed to gather supporting signatures from tens of thousands of people in just a few days. They proposed one absolute non-negotiable demand: the company must immediately cancel all forms of cooperation with Yasushi Akimoto and remove the song from the release list. To provide even stronger pressure on the company's financial aspect, various album buyer associations declared threats of a comprehensive boycott, where they promised not to purchase physical albums, collector's items, or BTS concert tickets if the management dared to continue the launch of the song Bird. It was this very real economic pressure from the main consumers that ultimately forced the board of directors of Big Hit Entertainment to hold an emergency crisis meeting. Realizing that the losses incurred due to the loss of trust from fans were far greater than the market profits promised, the management finally surrendered and issued an official statement of apology on various open information platforms. In the statement letter, the company absolutely canceled the launch of the song created by Yasushi Akimoto and permanently crossed it out from BTS's track record list.
To cover up the empty album recording duration caused by this sudden cancellation, the agency was forced to insert an old BTS song that was merely retranslated into Japanese. This incredibly rare cancellation event serves as valuable study material as casual insight regarding the dominant power of a fandom in the modern entertainment industry era. This case proves very clearly that the financial strength and militancy of fans are capable of forcing a giant company to cancel a project that has already been signed. The essential lesson that can be drawn from this pop music historical event is that cross-border business expansion must not only rely on gross revenue figure calculations, but must include strict audits of cultural backgrounds, regional political history, and social track record of every working partner. The right decision to cancel this song ultimately succeeded in restoring the trust of the Korean public toward the group, even though the company had to swallow the initial production cost losses in full. The Yasushi Akimoto and BTS incident permanently changed the way various music labels in Asia work in choosing collaboration partners at the international level. Fan reaction details can indeed vary in intensity in each case, but this specific incident affirms that the moral values and social principles of fans cannot be bought or exchanged with just the promise of a hit song. This rejection that purely came from the grassroots was one of the most tangibly impactful rejections in the long history of BTS's career journey.